Southwest Airlines is going to be requiring plus-size passengers to purchase 2 seats if that's what they need when boarding an airplane, and a lot of people are getting super upset about this new policy, but I'm thinking it should have been this way all along. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're talking about Southwest Airlines and their new plus-size policy. And before we get into some of the responses of people who are very upset by this policy, let's figure out exactly what it is. We're going to turn to the news.
Southwest Airlines is changing its policy for plus-size passengers. Starting January 27th, passengers who take up space in the neighboring seat will have to buy an extra ticket, and it might not be refunded. Refunds require an open seat on the flight, same fare class, and a request within 90 days. The change takes effect the same day Southwest moves to assigned seating.
There you go. That's the policy. I mean, it seems fair enough to me. If you're getting on an airplane and you need extra space, meaning that you will be encroaching upon the space of another person who could have possibly purchased that ticket, you should purchase the second ticket. Now, should you also get an extra carry-on bag and maybe an extra personal item if that's what you want because you purchased the second seat? Sure, by all means. Or maybe they should just allow you to purchase the space of the extra seat. But nonetheless, if you are in a position where you are taking up the space and going over the armrest in your airline seat, you should pay for the other seat. I think it's as simple as that. You know, a lot of people are saying they're in no way, shape, or form in control of how much space they take up, but do we all agree with that? I don't know about that. Of course, there should be some exceptions, I guess, here and there for people who truly, and I mean truly, cannot control the amount of space that they take up, but it's going to be a very minimal amount of exceptions, is it not? Now, of course, some people are very upset about this. They're saying this is bigotry and fat phobia. This is ableist. They're throwing out all the different phrases and terms, and we're going to get into some responses right now. Let's watch.
Unpopular opinion about the airlines making plus-size people pay for 2 seats. It's unfair. America should not have people who are plus size pay for extra seats. It should be awarded to them because America doesn't make it easy for people to be healthy. Fast food is cheaper than healthy food. Not to mention, most people are working multiple jobs. They don't have time to prep healthy food for themselves. Being fit and healthy is a luxury. This is coming from someone who frequents the gym, and I understand that that in itself is a luxury with time and money.
Okay, let's respond to this. I mean, not surprisingly at all, this individual is taking a victim stance on the whole matter. Now, I can agree that some people can't afford gym memberships, but that does not mean they cannot work out. As for the amount of time that is required to work out, I'm pretty sure most of us can fit in a workout or a little bit of exercise into our day. Now, on the point of healthy food, she says fast food is in a lot of instances cheaper than healthy food. Does that make healthy food a non-existent option? Not in my opinion. I think we have this tendency to revert to excuses rather than trying to figure out ways to overcome said barriers in our lives. She also states that most people in the United States are working 2 jobs. It's just not the case. And the majority of individuals in the United States are not working 2 or more jobs. So that point doesn't stand whatsoever. The real logistics of the matter state that if you are a plus-size individual and you can't fit into the 2 armrests that are going to be housing your seat, you're going to have to purchase the next seat over. Just is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
And of course, it's only fair when we realize that a plus-size person is sitting in an airline seat, the seat next to them is either going to be theirs or nobody's. And it's technically theirs given the fact that they're taking up the space. But nonetheless, let's get into another response here.
I don't know how long this has been out, but I was just scrolling and I saw this. Southwest Airlines will begin requiring plus-size passengers to purchase 2 seats in 2026. And I was like, hold up. Is this for real? Earlier this year, I had a video go viral because I videoed myself asking the flight attendant for a seatbelt extender on a Southwest flight. My comment section was insane, mostly people making fun of me, although what I did was just try to educate other plus-size people that you don't have to be embarrassed by having to ask for a seatbelt extender. I clicked on that.
And you know what? Fair enough. She shouldn't be made fun of for doing that, and I feel bad that she experienced that. But nonetheless, should you pay for the seat next to you? Let's get to that topic.
Cool, because I had to read and figure out how are they going to decide who is purchasing a second seat and who isn't. It states that anyone who cannot sit in a seat with both armrests comfortably down will be required to purchase a second seat. When I am online purchasing my ticket, how will you decide, Southwest? that I don't fit in the seat.
I'm gonna go ahead and pause there. I feel like we're gonna we're gonna hope that you can make that decision for yourself. These people, okay, know damn well whether or not they can fit in a seat and the armrest go down. You know damn well, this woman knows damn well whether or not the armrest will go down comfortably in her seat. Now, she's going to have to take on the responsibility of purchasing the extra seat for herself. And what's gonna happen is, I guess according to this policy, when you show up to the airport and you haven't bought a second seat, even though you know that you need that second seat, they're going to have to kick you from the flight if it's a full flight. They're going to have to move you to another flight at a later time or a later date. So it's really going to rest in your hands, not the hands of Southwest.
It's gonna be like an amusement park where I show up to get on the plane and there's going to be a seat there waiting for me to sit on it and see if I can fit before you let me on the plane. I have literally only flown Southwest my entire adult life. And this is going to make me not fly them again. You guys can say what you want, all you want in the comments about how plus size people should be purchasing 2 plane tickets. But in my opinion, this is just another way that society tries to tell a fat person that there is something wrong with you. This really isn't okay. How about we just make the plane seats accommodating?
So how about we just make the plane seats bigger and everything bigger and the aisle in the middle of the plane bigger, which I'm not, fully anti-doing, but for the sake of plus size people, it doesn't quite make sense. Meanwhile, if you bring a bag that's over like 50 pounds on a flight, you have to pay more because you're choosing to bring extra stuff. Now the question then becomes, are plus size individuals choosing this fate for themselves, choosing to take up more space? And for that extra space, should they have to pay more as somebody does with something else that they're bringing onto a plane? You guys know my take on it. Well, now, of course, advocacy groups are coming out and calling this fatphobic. They're also saying that this is a devastating change for plus size passengers and travelers. And I can understand why it may feel that way, because now you have to pay for 2 tickets. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. But should it not also function as a wake-up call, maybe, about the amount of space that you take up? Should we not then come to the realization that maybe we should work towards a life where we are able to comfortably fit in one plane seat? And I wanted to check out how Southwest was operating before. So I found some video examples of how plus size passengers were being treated and being accommodated. And honestly, it's pretty shocking that they had not moved to this new reality sooner.
I have 2 questions. Do you have the belt extenders up here? Yep. And then secondly, how do I let people know that I have an extra seat next to me? Oh, a little sign. Okay, so we are currently on the plane. We get to pick any seat we want. I want this one. So we have chosen our row, and this is the sign. Do not occupy. It's going next to me in my seat. Incorrect. Sheila did not have to drive up that mountain. All she had to do was fly Southwest.
So there you go. And that's Samira. She's a very popular plus size influencer who talks about fat phobia. She also posted another video of her on a Southwest flight saying that big back bitches pre-board on Southwest. So they get on earlier than any other individuals, or at least they did in the past. I don't know what the new reality is going to be for plus size people. So not only were they allowing these individuals to get 2 seats and giving them the little sign for do not occupy, they're also allowing them to pre-board, which means if you're plus size, you get to go on a Southwest flight where everybody sort of scatters on and chooses their seat and hopes to, be in a good position, and you get to choose first. Make that make sense. And I'm also thinking about if you don't take up, let's see, the whole 2 seats, and you take up 1.5, you're now in an extra space seat where everybody else on Southwest is paying for their rectangle with their 2 little armrests.
This is how I fly at 500 pounds. It's crazy. Let's check it out. I am where most fat people are afraid to go, the airport. Fat people hate the airport. Why? It's a lot of walking. It's very small seats. No one likes to go here. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm a plus size passenger. As a plus size passenger, I get an extra seat. That's why I love Southwest. It is the best.
So there you go. It's definitely going to be a new reality at Southwest. And I will go ahead and shout out the fact that I am seeing some plus size people saying this is a totally reasonable move on behalf of Southwest and other airlines, because they understand that taking up more space means you do have to pay for more space. That is literally what's on sale when we talk about buying the seats on an airplane. So for you to be taking up more space means you buy more space. Now, as I said before, this should function as a huge wake-up call, not only for people people who are traveling on planes, but just for the United States of America. We have a huge obesity problem here in the United States, not just with adults, but also with children. And instead of really facing it and talking about the issue and working on logical, reasonable policy prescriptions for this issue, we are just ignoring it? I don't know. Calling people fat phobic, pushing GLP-1s on individuals? I don't know what we're doing here. Anyway, Southwest Airlines is realizing what's going on. And although this is an economically advantageous move on behalf of the airline, it's also a reasonable one and is probably going to make for a more comfortable traveling experience for all involved. And guys, those are my thoughts on Southwest Airlines and their new plus size travel policy, which I guess is going to be implemented in 2026. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, duke it out, but do so respectfully. I encourage healthy debate on this channel. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.